Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Bogota, I am here in front of you because I am really honored to be elected mayor of the city, a city that has been punished by corruption and bad management done by previous politicians, a city where happiness from the citizens and a good leader are necessary for the prosperity and sovereignty of the city. First, I want to highlight the effort, commitment, intelligence, and dedication of my competition throughout the campaign. Only one person could win, but now I want to leave our differences aside, to invite you to follow my ideology and join my campaign because I want a city with no differences, where people and peace lives among us. It was a hard, long, and difficult road, but finally we are here. After months of hard work, the objective has been accomplished, and now, with the head held high, I'm not ashamed of being called Mayor of Bogota, the capital of Colombia. I am thankful to the people who voted for me and trusted on me, because without them, I will not be here, because without them, I will not have the opportunity of becoming the leader this city needs. For those who didn't vote for me, for those who are not convinced by my vision, I just hope that time change your idea and you get convinced that I was the best choice. My mandate begins in exactly 2 months from now. But I can tell you that the planning starts right now. I promise a better day, a better city, a city where opportunities are open without depending on the social class, a city where citizens are not afraid to the streets, a city where security and peace thrives on the streets, a city where the lower class lives in better conditions. I have experienced 5 years doing public service, and I have seen how people in lower classes are living in terrible conditions, and that helped me realize that I am going to have tireless commitment to the community from the lower class, because they need opportunities of life where not only the high class dominates. This city needs peace, the city needs opportunities, but the change is inside yourself. You make the peace, you are the change. We are Colombians. I want peace, I want opportunities, and I want a better city. I know that 4 years are not enough for the revolutionary change this city needs. But I promise you that I will be 100% committed to this community and to the city. And I will do my best, and I will bring the change. All the ideas you had about politicians will be forgotten, because I'm here to destroy corruption in Bogota. Corruption that has been really harmful for the city, causing delayed public works, massive traffic, and a lot of insecurity among the city. But that is going to end during these 4 years, because with honesty, fairness, and values, everything is possible. I will try to improve the judicial system. Fair punishments should be done for those who violated the law. No more impunity, because the change starts right now. We, the people who love the city, the people who love the capital of Colombia, will have the city we deserved. Clean, and secure. I promise that soon we will have the city we deserve and will be the example of a perfect city. Because remember, peace, security, and a better day, and a better city. Thank you.
As you can see, the previous task was a speech simulating that I was the new elected mayor of the city of Bogota. For this speech, I made use of different techniques seen throughout this period, used mostly by politicians with the purpose of convincing, as I was trying to do in this speech. Firstly, it is important to highlight that the audience of this speech are the citizens of Bogota, simulating that I was chosen by a mayor, as I've already mentioned before. Now, some of the convincing techniques I also call rhetorical strategies I used throughout the speech were ethos, pathos, and logos. Despite the fact I only used ethos and pathos, and the use of repetition and also the use of gestures. First, ethos is the appealing to ethics by creating credibility among the audience. And in this case, I use ethos in the phrase, I have spent 5 years doing public service, and this can make the people think that I have seen the terrible situation of the lower social classes and that I will use something to fix it. Pathos, by the other hand, is the appeal to emotions, to create a connection with the audience. And as most of the political speeches that use this technique, I appeal to nationalism, especially in the phrase, you make the peace, you are the change, we are Colombians. Because I'm directing to the citizens of Bogota, the capital of Colombia, and most of us are Colombians. Now, this was a mixture with the rule of three that I'm going to talk about it later. Well, I did not use logos, as I have already mentioned, but I used repetition with the phrase, this city needs. The purpose of this phrase was to convince the audience that I know the problematic of the city and that I'm going to do the change. And from the gestures, I always take this pose to show seriousness about the speech and the problematic. At last, the most important the technique I use is the rule of three, as I have already mentioned. That appears many times in the speech. First, in the example I have already mentioned, to show pathos. Second, in the phrase, with honesty, fairness, and values, everything is possible. Mention honesty, fairness, and values. Three important elements in politicians that most of the people hope they have. And at last is the phrase of the speech which establishes and remember peace, the first one, justice, and a better city. Those are the three also important elements at the end of the speech.